There's some people who had to endure certain things in this season, and you're still going through it. And one of the reasons why God has to take you through what he took you through is to make you violent. Now, why in the world, Ebony, will we need to be violent? The Bible said that the kingdom of heaven suffered what? Violence. But it's the violent that do what? Take it by force. Now, why do we need to be violent and why do we need to take it by force? Because there's some things that are being held up. There's some things that the enemy don't want you to get. There's some things, even the wealth that's in the hands of the unjust, the enemy don't want to let it go. The next level, the next dimension that God has for you, the enemy does not want you there. So God had to take you through some things to make you a little violent. Now you'll go straight to prayer. Now you'll just put your own self on a fast. Why? Because God is trying to get you into a position where the enemy has to let it go. Because we're the ones who have the authority. We are the ones who have the dominion in the earth. And regardless of whether or not the enemy wants you to have it, because he's been doing things like causing delay, but he cannot stop the plans of God. He cannot stop the people of God. He cannot stop the servant of God from having what God has ordained, from what God has spoken, from what God is bringing about. He cannot stop it. So God had to take you through some things to make you a little violent, to make you a little uncomfortable. This has been one of the most uncomfortable seasons I've been through. I saw somebody say, I'm so glad y'all went through what you went through. I've had some of the worst storms. And see, the thing about it is what I noticed about Amos 9, and if I'm not mistaken, 15, where it talks about how it'll be one thing upon the heels of the next. It'll be breakthrough after breakthrough, miracle after miracle, manifestation after manifestation. But in order for you to receive that kind of a blessing, you're going to have to go through trial after trial, test after test, lesson after lesson, in order for you to get that kind of a blessing. And so God had to put you in a position. But he's trying to make you violent because the enemy don't. I'm telling you, I know for certain the Lord has told me that the enemy don't want you to get into the place that's flowing with milk and honey. The enemy don't want you to get into the place where God is bringing you to. He doesn't want you there. God has told me that himself. But he cannot stop what God is doing. Baby, when I tell you take it and you take it by force, don't you let your family talk you out of it. Don't you even let yourself talk you out of it. So-called friends, don't you let them talk you out of the blessing, because you paid a price for this oil. You paid a price for this level. You paid a price for this. And it's yours. God has sworn it to you, just like he did the children of Israel. He has promised it to you. And then you will possess it in Jesus' name.